Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Daily Live. The day after the bloody night before. They've gone and bloody done it again.
Decent.
Someone. Dropped another 2 points at home. My opinion, that's 4 points dropped in the last two games at home against two teams that were very much there for the taking. And last night was more frustrating in the fact that we got ahead in the game and couldn't kill it off. And we had chances to kill it off.
Yeah.
Not brilliant ones, but we had chances to kill it off.
Yeah, but I think also, though, you are overlooking the fact that we are rubbish. I think you're given. No, listen. Yeah, I mean, we in the final third we have issues, and those issues are called centre forwards.
Especially when you other three don't contribute loads.
And also our defence has started to look very shaky in terms of just the makeup of it, where it was very, very solid. And that's probably because that's the makeup of the team is more adventurous now. So therefore, we are playing on that line, but we don't. We
do need Branthwaite back.
We do need Branthwaite back. You know, obviously we need a right back. But we should once we got the first, we should have got a second goal. We should have pressed our advantage as we had it at the time, but we didn't, and we let them back in. They got more confidence as they had 11 men behind the ball. First of all, but they got more confidence as they got more joy. Their wide men, especially on the left, started to get more joy, and they ended up getting probably a deserved, but also poxy equaliser. So.
Yeah, it was frustrating. They had a 15-minute spell, I think, around the goal and after it, where I thought they'd go on and win it because we just looked like we were shell-shocked when they equalised. And then we recovered it and we were the team pushing for the winner at the end and we just didn't have enough quality. But still, I just think our decision-making in the final third is terrible. Yeah. And it's not just down to the strikers that when Grealish has got it, there's not enough movement. And Jai is just drifting out the games too easily. And that's a real worry. It's a real worry. Our set play. I mean, the manager said the set pieces were good last night. I thought they were dreadful. I don't know how you can qualify what's a good set piece if you're not constantly getting heads at goal on it and attacking it and winning second balls, which we didn't do any of. So I don't know why he thought they were better, but you'd have to ask him further questions on what constitutes a better set piece.
Yeah.
Because good set pieces to me are ones that cause chances for them. You know, which Arsenal seem very good at.
Yeah.
You know, it might be time to go and get an actual qualified set piece technician and bring them in, rather than just going, well, we're letting them do the set pieces now. Because that's key, isn't it, in this? I've said before, I banged on about it last week, every time I watch us play, it just comes back glaringly to me. We need a centre-forward coach. But you're right, ultimately, we need better fullbacks. Fullbacks who go beyond that, because of the way we play. I think if Everton had two flying wingers, then you can get away with being solid and going, well, we're always solid, because they'll just go off. You see, like Crysencio Somerville, when he got the ball, he just went off.
We saw last night the difference, what it makes having pace at fullback. That youth, and you mentioned him in the summer, and he's someone we definitely should have looked out for. I don't think he'll be at West Ham very long if he keeps up those kind of performances. That's what we need. We're so slow at fullback, and it's with our, paint myself with the way we play, the way our players play. Grealish wants someone to go on the outside, and Jai wants to go in the inside himself, and needs someone to go outside him all the time. And it's just the balance is just so badly wrong. It's so badly wrong. And I don't think I've been any. I don't think I've said anything different. I just think they've got that massively wrong. I think David Moyes and the people he's working with have got that massively wrong, and thinking that could continue all season. I find that staggering. And same before. Someone maybe should have made the tough decision to sell a couple of our players to maybe hasten up that I think a decision on Nathan Patterson should have been made a lot earlier. And if they didn't want him, they should have just said he's going and we need to find a replacement. I find it staggering that we went for Kenny Tete and then we missed out on him and then we never went back for the right back. I find that incredible because it was almost like, well, that opportunity's too good to give up. Well, then, therefore, you're saying you needed a right back and you never went and got it. There's no other right backs. Like, I would have give up one of the players we bought in midfield for a right back because I think the first thing you need are players who play in their natural positions. I think that's the first thing you need when you're creating a team. And I know all this, the people who tell me, well, it's not all, can't all be done in one year. I get that. Then you have to sacrifice something else then. You have to sacrifice one of the other players that you bought then. Did you really need to pay £9 million for a backup left back that is not even a backup left back by the looks of it? Did you really need to do that? I just find maybe some of the decisions will come back and bite us on the arse. But, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think at the moment we're still on for between, as Matthew said there, me and John have done this already, but 46 to 54 point season if we carry on doing what we're doing. With points, and that's fine. That'll be what we've simply had. But it's about trying to improve, isn't it? And obviously, listen, they can change. You can grab wins that you don't expect, and then you sort of look back and go, well, all right, well, we won that one. We could beat Palace on Sunday. Tough game. We could beat Crystal Palace on Sunday. We'll all look back to Monday night and go, imagine if we'd have beat West Ham as well, where we'd be now. That's just the way it is, isn't it? Yeah. It's football, you know. It's one of those things. But you're right, there's gaps in the team we need to solve. If Nathan Patterson genuinely wasn't an option this season because the manager just decided it was he's not good enough for him. They should have quickly got rid of him. Yeah. To force. Because I still don't think cash to me wasn't the option. Isn't a worry. The money wasn't the worry. There was still money to spend. I think the chief exec sort of said that anyway when he was in here. But you sell those players, which means it creates a glaring need for that position. That's
what I'm saying. I said this to you before, didn't it? It's like that situation of would a director of football or would even a manager who's got power basically say, we're going to solve this will sound a bit weird, but we're going to solve a problem by creating a problem, which is we are going to sell that player. Therefore, you need to buy a backup. And I think we could have done that in a couple of positions by holding on to Nathan Patterson. It was like a crutch to say, well, we don't need, we're all right. We've got Seamus, we've got Nathan Patterson in there. And I think
it's just fine if he's a genuine.
But he's not, is he? And you could say the same about Beto as well. The manager could have turned around and went, sell Beto because I want another centre forward, and that's the end of it.
But I think he thought, and in his mind will be there, will he score Premier League goal? And I did say this, didn't I? You've got a lad who's put the ball in the net in the Premier League, and to just let it go out the door.
No,
there's a worry.
I agree with you, right?
But there was other players.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. The point being is David Moyes didn't seem convinced whatsoever. No. And that's where my mind is like, if you're not convinced about this player, go and get someone that you are convinced about them. Yeah. Because if we know anything about David Moyes is, people give him players or he buys players, and if he's not convinced about them, they aren't getting on the pitch. It's like the Alper Coldrop situation, isn't it? You bring them in and then you take one look at them and go, you're never getting a game for this football club. And that's the stubbornness of the manager, and it didn't happen very often, but I feel like with this summer, because there was a need, and there was a need that summer as well, because there's a need to bring players in, it feels like some of them have been like, I can get you a decent left back here, oh yeah, sound, yeah, and then he gets them in, he's like, this kid's nowhere near ready, so he's going to take a year, then he ain't a backup left back then. He ain't a backup. If you're going to take a year, you're not a backup left back. If you can't take over that fella who's playing left back, then you're not a backup left back. So listen, everything takes time. I appreciate that, but I also understand that David Moyes isn't necessarily the man. I mean, look, Carlos Alcaraz is the biggest one, isn't he? There's a lad who's literally proved himself in the Premier League and still isn't getting opportunities to come on. And that's that to me is that again. That's David Moyes. You know. just being like, oh, I don't know. It's like, you know you can trust him. You've done it last season. You brought him on in some big games and he changed them. You started him in some games that he won for you. You know this lad has got the ability to get on the pitch. Like, and I just think sometimes his own stubbornness gets in the way of being able to, where like other teams, when we've seen it this season, they'll bring on 4 players and the energy level just changes the momentum of the game. You know, they did that. I thought they did that last night with their sub, just changed the energy levels. Leeds certainly did it to us when we were at their place. Moyes just won't do that. And again, it's like 10 minutes to go to bring Dibbling on. Come on. Beto should have been off after 50 minutes.
Yeah, he should have.
He was dreadful, like properly.
Just look.
He was like there was no fight in him. There was opportunity with the centre back at the ball, and he wouldn't run 5 yards just to make that ground up. Anyone who's in the ground last night knows it's not being disrespectful to him. Listen, I said that last night. The fella says he watches everything. I hope you watched mine last night, and I hope you're watching this if you watch everything, because you need a rocker up your ass. Because when you were the player last season that was dying to get in this team,
hungry, yeah,
you were fighting for it. Now suddenly you've been given the number 9, which I've said loads of times. You don't deserve to wear the number 9 shirt at Everton. You haven't done enough to wear the number 9 shirt at Everton. I'm sorry, but you haven't. You're not fighting for anything now. You just get on the pitch and you're oozy-oozying around, and someone needs to. And if that means that and that's where the manager needs to maybe go, yeah, we'll have, if I drop him, then bring him back, bring him back. It's not working. It's not working.
Nathan L. on the super chat, thank you, Nathan, says Grealish and Garner have been great, but they try to recreate the Brighton goal about 3 or 4 times per match. Wish Grealish would mix it up, not all cutbacks.
It's the City brain that, isn't it, taking over, I think. I think it's that idea of retention of the ball is the most important thing. Yeah. And I think in this Everton team now and again, he's going to...
It's got to be chaos.
That said it last night.
It's got to cause chaos.
Think of his assists. 3 of his assists and 1 pre-assist have come from just putting the ball in the box.
If he'd have fired a couple of them across, sort of this high, last night when he skinned the fullback and just whacked it across, it'd have caused trouble. Yeah. As Bowen did, you know, Keane heads it in. One of theirs might have headed it in, you don't know.
There's a touch of the Beardsley about him, isn't there?
Yeah, he is.
Of like,
he's too... Yeah,
he's
of course,
up there.
But you knew that. We knew that when we got him. He was going to be too intelligent for some of our players, but... So cause chaos. Get it half a yard and get it across. Or get half a yard and have a shot. Yeah. Don't slow everything down, because we haven't got brilliant runners either side of you. Yeah. But we're not getting enough out of him, Jay.
No, we're not. No, and he looks uncomfortable playing on the right. He really does.
But he plays for Senegal.
I know, but he plays there once every, other month, doesn't he?
It's because he keeps coming inside, go on the outside, making cross it. Put the ball in the box.
It's not his style, is it? It's not his game. That's where you need a full-back.
I know, but you can't say, I don't do that.
You can, though, can't you? That's not yours. If that's not the way you play football, that's not the way you play football.
We're asking Grealish to do something he doesn't really do.
But Grealish isn't doing it. Grealish is doing exactly what Jack Grealish does.
So, yeah. Craig Merton says, at what point do we go to false 9, Moyes and Benter with Cahill? The 2 playing up top are currently pointless. Well, we always had a striker.
Yeah, we always had
with Cahill. Just had Marcus Benter, who never scored goals, did he? 5 goals. But he had good control and worked hard. But we haven't really got anyone in that role anyway. So it's frustrating, because we've had the opportunity to put more points on the board and we haven't been able to do it.
I mean, listen, maybe we are where we just are. Maybe this is us. Maybe, we aren't going to win. We had a really, decent start. And it's been poor the last few weeks, because the league's starting to, certainly after the next international break is where it will really all settle down.
And also maybe we are where we are because we are a newish team, and everyone's got to find its feet and find exactly what everyone's doing. Gary Waters, hardly. Tom says Moyes is confusing me at the moment. We play better with poor footballers like Decore, McNeil, Harrison than we are now with superior technical players like Grealish and Dewsbury Hall. We need to play quick through the lines, stop aimless long balls. I'm not Moyes out, but do you think a Glasner or Iriola would thrive?
But we wouldn't, all due respect, I don't believe, I heard this on the radio on the way home last night, someone calling for us to go and get Glasner. And I was just,
don't think he's going to leave.
What world would Glasner or Iraola leave?
I think you could get Iraola.
No, I don't.
You'd have to offer.
I don't.
You'd have to give him
and it's not
huge money.
It's not the clubs that are. It's the clubs they could pretend. Iraola could be the next Real Madrid, Barcelona, City, Atletico Madrid.
But at the moment, he's at Bournemouth.
No, I know what I'm saying.
So I don't ever rule anything out. But Everton
no. And Glasner's the same. Glasner could be the next Bayern Munich manager. I'm not saying where they are. They're not at clubs under us. It's just that what they're doing. Is so good that they're going to attract the very best. City are going to need Iraola. Yeah, if you're City, you're looking at Iraola looking right now. Absolutely. So it's not a case of that we're not bigger than the clubs that are. It's the clubs they want to go to.
You'd have to get Iraola. You'd have to go in now and offer huge money, I think, for him to even listen to you. And then it's whether or not he thinks, nah, my horizon's way above yours. But it's not that we can't be on this already, can we?
No,
Moisey just needs to loosen up a little bit. Trust what he's got. Like you said, Alcaraz played for us in the Premier League. He hasn't just come in this summer. He played for us in the Premier League last season and was key in games. Yeah. The last 2 away games, he was absolutely brilliant. Fulham away, Newcastle away. The winner at Newcastle, he was brilliant. And we won the game. So give him the chance. You're right, we were a bit more effective with weaker players last season. You know, so we have to mix it up a little bit. We do play too slow. We can't seem to maintain a rhythm when we get a team rocking a little bit. And that's an issue. And that is us, I think. I don't think it's a fitness issue, because it can't be. So that is an intensity issue.
Yeah.
We have to try to create that wave after wave and make the opposition uncomfortable. You can be more methodical away from home, because you have to. You'd have to try to slow it down. You'd have to try to grab bits. But at home, you're the one that's got to do the pushing. And they were there for the taking last night, and we couldn't do it. Villa were there just like, please, like a boxer just covering up. They had no intention of trying to win against Everton, Aston Villa. They just didn't want to get battered. And if they'd got beat 1-0, Emery would have been like, that sound.
Ultimately right. No matter what anyone says or thinks of David Moyes, it's not like we're negative, is it? No, it's not like we're playing every man behind the ball. It's not like we're going long and leaving a centre forward isolated. We're trying to play attacking football. We're trying to get into the final third. It's just that when we get into the final third, it's not working because we haven't got a centre forward. So this idea of us being a negative team isn't true. We're trying to play on the front foot. It does frustrate me when we go back, but it's getting players to break out of that habit. But it's also comes down to the players we've got. As we've stressed, the fullbacks aren't like, it's not conducive to get what you need. No. The 2 centre backs, there's no pace between them, and we haven't got a centre forward. So it's going to take. There's fundamental issues in our team. It's not like we're this amazing football team, and it's like, you'd look at like a Villa from last season and go, wow, something majorly's gone wrong with there. No, it is. We have moved on from last season. We have moved on from losing those players. We have brought new players in. It's going to take a little bit of time. Yeah. We can't just be going, oh well, it's not where. We are where we are. We are probably where we are. We're a mid-table, what we thought we'd be anyway, and we are desperate for a centre forward. No, you can't understate how important a good front man is. You can't. The match winners, them games that it's tight. You could look up Jarrod Bowen for them, right? Without Jarrod Bowen last night, they were never scoring a goal. Yeah. Fulkrug's never scoring in a million years unless you stand the ball up and he can attack it because he's great in the air. Yeah. He's not going to get you a goal running. He's got no ability to beat a man. He's just a big, strong lad. And if you stand it up, he's a threat. Without Jarrod Bowen, they had zero threat. And they'll struggle for goals this season. They really will. And Nuno plays negative football anyway. So they're very well structured, but it's slightly negative with everyone behind the ball. Jarrod Bowen is key. If West Ham lost Jarrod Bowen for a couple of months with an injury or whatever, I'd be surprised if they got a goal. Because they just don't have it in them. And we don't have it in us. We've got
Jack Grealish, who will create chances but doesn't score a lot of goals, never has. And Jai can get on the end of things but doesn't create a lot of chances. So we're hoping Dewsbury Hall can get half a dozen. He's got one so far. But Beto's is not playing well for him either. Whether you think he's good enough or not, he's not even doing the things that he's been good at. And Tieno Barry's just coming. We don't have fullbacks who overlap. And we haven't got our other midfield player who should be able to get goals. Is this a guy who I love, but will get, got a goal at Anfield, but we'll all be surprised if he scores again this season. So if we had another run and 8, as they call them, who got goals as well, him and Dewsbury Hall, and we had someone who sat, and our wide men got goals, then it'd be about linking it to play. But the better teams like Watkins for Villa won at the weekend. And we'll start winning now because the confidence will be up. But Ollie Watkins has been key for them in what they've done. Chris Wood for Forest has been key for how well Forest have done over the last couple of years. Newcastle about Isak. It's the moments where, because a lot of teams now have so much information about each other, you can cancel each other out really with that information, and then it takes something like a team to just have low confidence and you hit them with a couple of goals, then you can get at them. Most teams staying in the game, you're going to need a bit of good fortune or a moment of magic from your front man really to win a lot of games. And against Villa, Beto missed 3 sitters. Last night, we didn't have the final ball right. It's not like last night Beto missed a host of chances or Tieno Barry's missed a host of chances. They haven't really created anything for Barry, have we? So that's where it is. We're trying, I agree with you, we're trying to play on the front foot. We're having enough. I mean, their goalies made 6 saves last night. So on another day, we could have won that game. Yeah. We were unlucky. The one we were really unlucky with was James Garner's volley at 1-0, which any one of our players sticks a foot out and it goes past. If it hits his foot, it's in. The keeper, it takes everyone out and the keeper saves it low. Any nick and that's 2-0 and it's game over. And it didn't happen, and we didn't get the little break either. I don't think we're playing negative, boring football. I just think we don't play quick enough.
Yeah, we're not quick.
And I think the manager's going to have, that's something he's going to have to introduce to play quicker. We don't overlap enough, but I think that's personnel rather than a way of playing. And when we do play long, straight balls to try and turn them a little bit, our centre-forward is allowing himself to be held by the centre-back because for some reason he's trying to receive the ball with his back to goal. When it's a long ball that he can see is not going to be able to pull it down. He should be standing side on, ready to run in behind. So what they're doing, like what they did last night was what Leeds did to him, which was but we're knocking a ball, he's like this, they've got 2 hands round him. Not fouling him, just holding him. And they just lean in his back. So he can't jump because they're leaning in. The ball's up here. Where really, if he's started on, as that's knocked, he can use his arms to move and he's in behind and they've got to worry about him running in behind. He's not doing it. He's made himself too easy to play against at the moment. And yet last year when he was in that groove and he's knocking Konate and Van Dijk out the way and he's getting at them and they're like, I've been in a game here. No centre-back at the moment thinking, I've been in a tough game here with him. Because he's just, you can see his confidence is low. For whatever reason, he's not fired. I don't think Beto doesn't try, but I just think when he's in the zone himself, and he's a much more awkward customer to deal with than what he is right now. And that's why for me, and I said it last night, and said it on my 3 talking points, I'd be going all in on Barry for the next half a dozen games to see whether we can get him into the mix of scoring goals and link, because he does link the play a lot better than what Beto does.
Yeah, he does. I've never thought Beto was good enough, and he goes on purple patches. He goes on purple patches, and I'm sure he will again. But it's not there, so I would just leave him out. But as I said, I think the club have left themselves short in the forward positions. But as I said, gotta at times just put those first time crosses in, and just on both sides, just be prepared to stand a couple up. I think we make it a little bit too easy for the defenders at times to get players back, and we need better movement in the box. But it's just not. It just hasn't clicked the last few weeks, and The difference of having a striker who knows what he's doing makes a huge amount of difference, you know. And some of these more experienced. I watched, you know, I was having a little bit of Fulkrug in the first half. The way he worked the centre backs was much better than what we've got. His all round game isn't like, you know, he's not like an all round striker, but at least he gives a platform for Bowen to play off.
And he wins a lot of effort.
Exactly, because then he gives Bowen, it falls in the right areas for a player like Bowen then to attack while the defenders are maybe slightly higher up than they want to be, and they're on the back foot at the same time. And we just don't have that. We just don't have better winning anything while he's there. So. Yeah, it's very frustrating, but this is, you know, maybe this is just where we are. It is where we are.
Tom Kite says, why can we never kill a game off when we have the chance? It's so frustrating. Yeah, agreed, mate. Mike Raff says, what a load of crap, not being able to take the piss out of my wife. Come on, lads, sort it out.
I mean, you can take, yeah, but you can just take the piss out of it anyway.
Yeah,
she got mad at you.
And the 19th. Rick says, having better up front's like playing with 10 men. He offers nothing. Don't want to see him start anymore. Adam says, I have my reservations about the Barry deal straight away. I fully understand the Dibbling deal, as we have 2 good wingers already in place, but buying a project when you don't even have a starter is lunacy to me.
It is a little... It's also having a project can be hard for a club like Everton who haven't got Europe and don't go on and don't have that ability to play him all the time.
We you know... We had Carabao Cup games.
I know, but even Carabao Cup games, see, this is, again, group stages. It all makes sense when you think about it. The more mad things, the more you push on, the more they make sense. We don't have, like, the opportunity to give them games unless we just give them games and go through the hurt. But that's the other side. We don't have anybody. We had Njai when he was playing on the left, but we don't have anyone who scores... goal that a major amount of goals, so the pressure, because Grealish's goal at the time is terrible. It always has been
for his ability. Yeah,
it always has been. So we don't have it. We don't have someone who's going to take that pressure off. A midfielder who's going to take that pressure off. The moment James Garner looks like the most likely player to score goals for Everton.
He's playing well, very
so it's the pressure all comes down to the centre forward, and yeah.
Ben says, I like O'Brien, but the experiment should have been finished in the summer. Funny watching what a proper fullback can do for a side. Juve was their best outlet. We can't even pass the ball out wide because he doesn't know what to do with it. And thought the atmosphere was awful again. Don't really know how it naturally gets better. You win games. What do you think they could do? It's laughable the club haven't funded the 1878. So that
is laughable. I will... The lower south is very quiet. Like, I don't know what the mix is. I've heard again people saying they're being told to sit down. Like, I don't understand that at all. It was quiet last night. People have been like, obviously, it's going to take time for people to. But I'm just not quite understanding the dynamic in our football this ground. Like, the lower south's supposed to be.
The standing area. The
standing area where songs are going to come from. And it's really quiet. I just don't understand that. There has to be some kind of, like, something that gets people going. And you, like, don't get me wrong, people for a long time have been like, Everton have to play before we get going. But surely now and again there has to be like a little bit of a spark. And you hear people from different around the ground of like trying to get songs going. It's like, surely that south stand should have been the place where the atmosphere is created, because it is a standing area. And we will repeat, if you are sitting in the south stand lower, you are in the wrong place. But I get I can't see it, so I don't know what it looks like. I've not seen it properly because I can't see it.
It looks to me like most people are
standing. Yeah. So if people are standing, then why isn't the atmosphere being generated from there? Like, and I do think this is going back to what we said a while ago of like making sure the right people are in there. And I know that's a thing where people go, well, you can't tell people what to do. But maybe you can tell people what to do now and again. You're right. The 1878 stuff is bollocks. The football club should be paying for all that. If they want a tifo machine, buy them a fucking tifo machine. Get Pepsi to buy them a tifo machine.
It should have been put in when we built the ground.
Yeah, and sponsored by... Well, put sponsored by Pepsi on it or something, whatever it takes, or have 2 tifos, one's a Pepsi thing and then there's a proper one. Give the 1878 whatever they want, because they are the people who go out their way and take their time and go there in the week and take time off work. Them having to raise money is bollocks, Everton. Absolute bollocks. Also, can I direct you to more bollocks from last night? Everton before the game making a big deal of the Archibald Leeds thing. Where the fuck was he?
Come on, every now and
again. That should have been on. And I know it's only a small thing, but that should have been on when the players were walking out. Yeah. Just that. Yeah. Just that. It flashed up, then went off, flashed up, then.
It looked great. It looked unbelievable.
Leave it on. Yeah. What the fuck? You've put it on socials. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Fuck off. And also, do me a favour. That light show, right? I'm right here, right now. What the fuck's that got to do with Everton? What a load of bollocks.
All for Sky, though.
I know, but make it an Everton thing then. Make it an Everton thing. Don't make it a song by Fatboy Slim that's got no association to Everton. Make it an Everton thing, but get that Archibald Leach down the ground, honestly, and pay for the 1878. The budget Everton must have for all different kinds of things, and you can't pay. Because the atmosphere last night was fucking dreadful. It was dreadful. It was dead quiet. The West Ham things were singing, should we sing a song for you? And they were absolutely right. The atmosphere was dreadful.
They were terrible, though.
No, I couldn't care less. They were,
what I'm saying.
They were taking the piss. They were taking the piss with that song.
They were a terrible away crowd last night. And they're normally good, West Ham.
Who cares? But, Everton, make it easy for yourself. Give these people who work hard the money to create. They've said it themselves. They haven't got the flags because the ground's much bigger than Goodison. So buy them some flags. Create a better atmosphere. Get a big flag. Look at Newcastle. Newcastle, as much as I hate to say it, their displays are amazing. Their displays are amazing. Get big flags that come from all the way at the back.
But their crowd don't cry ass for people standing up in front of them.
Well, listen, I don't know. I can't.
No, but I've heard.
But then we have to. I'm not being funny. There's too much of this. There's too much of this thing of, you can't tell people. Yes, you fucking can. It's a standing area. It's a place to stand up. I moved to the back because I want to sit down. And I wasn't going to stand up. So anyone down there,
there'll be low. Listen, the best advice is make sure when you're in that lower south, you move at the summer. In the summer, put your thing into moving.
No, this is the other thing.
Because it's sooner rather than later. Those seats that are there now will be ripped out and replaced with the smaller ones to get more people in there.
This is the other thing, though, right? If people are not happy where they're sitting, then Everton should start facilitating that now, not at the end of the year. Not at the end of the year. If people are not happy where they are, then Everton, honestly, I've said this for years. I've said this for years. Everton should start putting something in place now for people if they're not happy where they sit, because no one really technically knew what it was going to be like. They didn't know what the facilities.
I don't blame people. No. I don't blame people for being in a seat and going, I actually don't like it here. It's hard. We've all had to just get on with it, haven't we? I had an unbelievable seat, and apparently I got told stuff yesterday that, club views being reviewed and people, there's rumours going on. Might be rumours only, but, they might be getting the money back. Well, if that's the case, I couldn't take my seat because I got told I had to pay another thingy. So that's not great. And I accept that with different things. But it was told to everybody that lower south, we're going to stand up if you were in there.
Yeah, that's on
that was what was told. So if you took it in there and gone, I'll just sit down, well, then you're in the wrong place, and therefore you should be moved.
But what I was going to say with them was, Everton, as a football club, should be paying to have displays. If that means big flags on in the upper, and then they go down. Because what I am that stand was almost like, it was told that it was going to be like one big stand, but it doesn't feel like one big stand. No, it feels like
they divided it.
Well, you need it because, and I always said it should have been standing all the way up. I felt, being on the yellow wall and all that, I thought it should have been all the way up, but they decided against that. But at least you could have flags at the top that come down. And I just feel like there's no way on earth the 1878 should be having to go to the fan base. Even though the fan base will react, obviously, like it always does. The football club, for me, should be, you've spent all this money on a ground. This is where the Friedkins or whoever else should be like, that's buttons to us. That is absolute buttons to us. We will give you the money you need to create whatever spectacle you need in this ground. If you need a tifo thing, we'll get you a tifo thing. If you need flags, we will get you flags. The fan base will put their hand in the pocket, but why should they when this is fundamentally something to create atmosphere for the team on the pitch to win games of football? And it's
which creates more money, more revenue,
exactly.
All that, yeah.
So that's me anyway.
It's really hard, isn't it? Because it feels like that. And I think this isn't just Everton. This is football in general. A lot of people want other people to do it for them, don't they? Do you know what I mean? God, we should be doing this, we should be doing that, and then they won't do anything. I mean, loads of people, you know, do put their hand in the pocket and we've donated. We bought flags for displays last season, and you know, John Blaine's always donating for things and all of that. So people do put their hands in, but the club has to do. You can't just brush it off and go, you know, the most important thing for that football club is winning games of football. It's got key things it needs to sort out now, the club, you know, and that is getting the service right. And you can pass it on and go, Tara marks that. Yeah. Well, then you need to actually challenge them on it then. Yeah. Get that pricing right. There was no queues last night, I must admit, when I went in. Yeah. At any of the thing. That's because we had our food elsewhere. Yeah, we did. Because it's outrageous, the pricing. Yeah. And the only way on the show. The only way it's gonna change is when people stop buying it. They'll have to change it. And that's not the message I want to portray, because I want the club to make as much money as you can to put better footballers on the pitch. So the event of going there is a great one. You look forward to. You can't wait to sit down and watch the players, but it's unacceptable at the moment. So the club have got to get that right, but they've got to try to do everybody help create this atmosphere, which means that the team wins games.
This is a great opportunity also, though, for so people like Christopher Ward, people like Pepsi, people like Steak. This is an absolutely fantastic opportunity to, you know, we all sort of, you know, we looked back at sports paging and all that. But you know what? I remember sports paging before they were even sponsors, doing coaches for fans. This is a really good opportunity for one of those people to come out and go, we'll buy these for you. How much is it? A few £1,000, sound. We've got a budget for that. We'll pay this for you.
They should all.
We'll pay this. There's no way the 1878 going to be able to do that, and there's no way, and the fans really shouldn't have to do it again. And I just think for me personally, it's something where the football club and some sponsors should be looking to do this and try and help generate that atmosphere.
Get the tifo machine. Don't care if it costs 50 grand, 100 grand. That's buttons to the Friedkins. Get it built. Should have been done before the ground opened. In all fairness, it should have been in place. You should be looking for the best thing possible, and we haven't, and that's what's frustrating. Matthew Roberts says seeing old blokes in their 80s struggling to walk up steps to Rose Ed is an ideal either. The ticket swap system needs to be implemented for 26, 27. Louder fans in the lower south equals more home wins.
Oh, there's a fella by me who's very loud. I think he's going to give himself a heart attack if he's not careful. No, you're absolutely right on that. I mean, I sit in the upper south, and I've said loads of times I sit near the front of it for one major reason, and it is so I don't have to walk up all those stairs. But you see people walking up them and you think, not a chance, you know, can that really continue? Coming down 10 minutes before half time, coming back 10 minutes after half time. Telling you now, Everton should put it out there. If people want to move or are thinking of moving, or if there's any opportunity to move, start putting it in place now. If you're in the lower south and you're like, I didn't think it was going to be like this, and want somewhere to move, then let's start. There might be people in the ground who are like, I want to be in the lower south and I couldn't get in there because I didn't have enough years, because I'm a kid, because I've just turned 18, let's just say. Then get them in the lower. If that's going to generate more atmosphere, that's where it's going to. Every ground has one place, doesn't it, where the atmosphere is created. if that's going to be the place, then let's get the people in there who are going to do that.
But we all want the atmosphere to be amazing, don't we?
Of course.
So let's all try and help it. If you're in a position where you're thinking, no, I don't want to be in here anymore because I want to sit down, I just want to sit down. I don't want to go and stand up in the lower cell.
No, I don't, and that's why I went in the upper.
But there must be people who are like, I can't wait to stand up, I want to stand up. So if you're in there and you think, this isn't for me, you know, I just want to go to a match and sit down and watch the game, then fine, go and, you know, look to move and let people in there who do want to stand up, who do want to sing, because it will fall on them no matter what. It'll fall in those areas to start it, because that's basically the equivalent of like the lower Gladys Street, isn't it? So, you know, you knew if you were, even if you were in the lower Gladys Street, particularly in like GT4 or whatever, you were standing the whole game.
Yeah, last 3 years we stood in the Gladys Street, whether you wanted to or not. And that was just the way it was. We all stood. And now there's an opportunity, and a lot of people have decided against that opportunity because, like, you know, we're all getting older, and you know, that's going to be, maybe we're going to be sort of stuck where we are, or so you get the best place you possibly can. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is mad.
And you'll need to stand up soon anyway, because it's going to get cold. So you'll need that body heat. So.
I mean, it was roasting last night.
Yeah, it wasn't cold, was it?
It was weird. Take my coat off at half time.
Yeah. Where did you go for something to eat? Costco.
On the way in.
You live in the dream, mate. You live in the dream.
Easy. Great.
Did you need a card, or did you just let anyone in?
Dad, no, I've got the card.
I went to 10th Street.
Nice.
It took a little bit of time to get the food. It's like 15 minutes, but it was fresh, like it was made. So, but standing around for like 15 minutes and stuff, but it was very lively place. So fair play. Yeah, what we got, we paid the equivalent for what we pay in the ground, and we got loads more.
Yeah,
we got loads more. We got like a proper burger and chips for like 12 quid. So that's exactly what we've been asking. I said yesterday on the show, I'm not buying any food in the ground. I'm not. John Blaine said exactly the same. We're not, like, the prices are disgusting, and we're not sitting here fucking shills. We know, so we're gonna buy. I'm gonna give my food to someone local who are offering something decent, and that's what we did.
Adam says, such a disappointing result last night. Feel we're becoming too predictable for defences, and we don't move the ball quick enough. Despite that, loved my first experience of Hill. Dickinson drove from or to and back to Portsmouth. Wow. Just wish it would have been off the back of 3 points. Absolutely, Adam. Frustrating, isn't it? Because if it's a tight game and you think, we didn't deserve to win, but getting the lead and not being able to close it out, so frustrating. Mark says, afternoon lads, disappointing result last night. Beto's not getting proper service. We keep playing onto the wings. We will be very predictable in no time. Hope Charlie starts Sunday now, and it should benefit Beto. Well, I hope Barry starts instead of Beto, to be honest. Bill says, the late subs and cautious mindset is boggling. Why not give Alcaraz a go? Moyes never seems to give him minutes. He only even got a 2-year contract. Why he made the difference last season, yet he hasn't been given many minutes. I don't get why he's overlooked, even off the bench. Why not give Barry a run? Chopping and changing won't work. Why not bring the subs on much earlier? You can't affect the game in 5 or 10 minutes. It's weird, as Moyes was a breath of fresh air last season, but he's now reverting to what his critics say he is. I like him, but he has to change it up at times. Draws are not enough at home. Also, can we stop playing a centre-back at right-back? It really makes us unbalanced when the onus is on us. People say Patterson isn't good enough. Why is he at the club then? Can he not offer anything off the bench as an overlap, the same with Asney? Lynn Cook says, Andy Hinchcliffe appalling again on comment. So bitter and negative.
I've just seen a West Ham fan complaining he was too biased to us.
I heard loads of people saying he's just a terrible commentator.
He is a terrible commentator.
End of.
Dowie.
And didn't he give Jared Bowen man of the match? And he touched the ball less times than Beto.
He didn't do anything.
He scored a goal, which Michael Keane headed in. And that was it. He didn't do another thing in the whole game. And I'm sure he gave him man of the match. Buck says, I think if there are any positives from last night is we would have beaten them. We would have been beaten by them last season.
We drew with them last season?
I think we'd have beat them last season. I think they were way poorer than they were last season. But fair enough. He said, But the game, the 6 started last season, we'd won 1, drew 1, lost 4 on this point. -8, 4 points. This season, 1, 2, drawn 2, lost 2, 8 points. Paul said, I think it'll be interesting on Sunday with Dewsbury Hall out. If he wants to play Beto or Barry, I'd go with Alcaraz, as I think he suits how they play. But in a number 10 role, if he starts dribbling, then maybe shift Jai to a false 9.
Well, the next couple of games, we're going to have to make changes, aren't we? Dewsbury Hall this week, Grealish the following game. So changes are going to have to be made. Dribbling's going to get games, isn't he? He's going to get involved more and more. So it's the manager has to start looking at it a bit more.
Jay says the glaring errors in our recruitment were there for all to see last night. The imbalance due to the fullbacks, the toothless attack and zero pace really annoyed me, especially as the eyes were on us. Yet I was strangely comforted looking at the table and seeing us in 8th. Maybe we have to just accept the slow improvements and trust the process. Improvements is improvements. The referees in this league, though, are a disgrace. Yeah, he was shocking him last night. Yeah, he was so bad.
The fact that he took him, what was it, about 5 fouls on Jack Grealish again to book the lad.
Booked Taki for the one on Fulkrug, and then 2 minutes later, Grealish cuts inside, and the lad just chops him from behind.
Swiped him in half,
and it's not a booking.
It's just not a booking.
It's just scandalous.
And the one Dewsbury Hall's booking is just absolutely insane. Like, insane.
Well, not only was it a ridiculous foul, it robbed us of the opportunity to score. We had the ball in their box with Dewsbury Hall and Beto and a goalie.
Yeah.
Andy Kinghorn says, time's up for Beto, I'm afraid. He offers us nothing at all. We've got to persist with Barry, not that he's much better at the moment, and look to strengthen again in January. Our attack is completely one-dimensional, and without a powerful, pacey, overlapping fullbacks, I can't see it changing. Another frustrating evening all round. Jay was looking at West Ham's left side with resentment as it had pace. Yeah, I'd like Crescencio for ages. Wanted them at Leeds. I don't know why we didn't go and try and get him. And then talked about G4 summer, didn't we, till they bought him. Kevin Johansson says, hi guys, you think Ashley would have gotten his chance in the first team if Braithwaite had played? Since Keane can't do that clean up job in a satisfying way, it's probably why Taki struggled this season. You'd have to do more jobs with Keane than with Braithwaite. Maybe.
I don't think so. I don't think he would have got opportunities regardless.
I think don't know. Harry says, afternoon lads, what do you think of the lack of minutes for the younger summer signings? Barry's had 163 minutes. Alcaraz has had 117 minutes. Dibbling has had 13 minutes. Asnu's had no minutes. Not sure who we think we are to spend a small fortune by our standards and still be playing 9 of last season's 11, with some being used out of position. Not sure how these younger players are going to develop, barely getting a look in because we're flogging most of them. Same old stuff we were flogging last season. I love David Moyes, but if we had a younger, progressive manager, there's no way he'd be using the squad in this way. Ben says, can we have them walking out to the correct part of Z cars as well, please? Jay says, I enjoyed watching Dunk throw Carrot and Dave Jones around the Monday Night Football studio during his centre-forward demos. Okay. Adam says, every team we played this year has had real pace out wide. Even Wolves, to an extent, with their wing-backs, were flying forward. It's almost hard to believe we're still lacking that key component in a player. That's why I banged on about it all summer. Ian said, why are we lumping the ball up to Beto? We couldn't. Okay. How many times you said it on his channel, we're desperate for pace in the team, and again showed last night how much it's lacking. Can't understand why Charlie's not getting on either. O'Brien was abysmal last night. Paul T says, for me, this season was always going to be hit and miss. We were never going to be able to rectify everything in one window. We're only 6 games in. Everyone looking at Palace, Bournemouth, etc. need to realise they've built up their teams over the last few years. We're on our way, but we're not there yet. Judge Moyes and the team in a few windows' time. Yeah, fair comments, mate. I think everyone's just frustrated. I think if we'd have beat Villa, last night would be easier to take. If we won last night, Villa, Wolves would have been easier to take. It's when it comes in a block, like it has done, you start going, missed opportunities. Steve P said, Ped, when you tweeted last night, we've got no pace, I just laughed in disbelief. We've literally sat saying this every single season and it'll never change. We're such a strange club.
We are a strange club, mate. You're absolutely right. We ignore the obvious all the time. And it's just
Somerville got man of the match.
we ignore the obvious all the time. Like it's so weird. It's just something that's just so ingrained in our football club. It's like we do the same thing all the time. We buy the same kind of players all the time. We overlook the most obvious things all the time. And it's the most frustrating thing. We sat here last week and we sort of spoke about it, like, even with new owners, not like making fundamental changes at the football club, like to properly like start a revolution. Everything always seems to be evolution at our club, but we don't evolve to anything other than what we already are.
It needs a revolution.
Yeah, it does need a revolution, and the stadium should have been like that start of the revolution. But we've got owners, and I'm not having a go with the owners, but we've got owners who seem quite sort of conservative in their nature. They're not like that. They're not that kind of people who are going to go in and are going to start like throwing things around, and that's fine. And
what should they be throwing around?
Cash.
Good answer. Good.
Cars. Throw some cars our way.
Oh.
Not ours.
Oh, Toyota.
Yeah, just drop some cars off Lexuses outside. Just boom, boom, boom. Lexuses.
Like electric.
Lexi.
Electric Lexi.
Electric, probably. John's got.
No, he hasn't got Lexus anymore, has he?
No, he's got
Toyota.
Toyota, which is basically the same. I think we need a bit more like don't get me wrong, like the people we have brought people in, but it just feels like the same old. Everton just never seems to move, and if it does, it's at like glacial pace. It's like we'll sort it out.
I said this last night. It's like you don't want to feel like this, and this has got nothing to do. It's not Moyes' issue because he's only been here since Christmas, but it's in January. Sorry, but it just feels like we go round in a loop.
Circle of shite.
No matter what we do, we're back where we like. It's not we're back where we started. That's not right because I feel like the squad is better. But it just feels like you are just watching the same thing. No matter what happens, you just go and watch the same thing.
Basically, we are going up. But what we're doing is we go all the way round this big thing and then get there, and it just feels like it's taken so long. It doesn't actually feel like you've gone anywhere. Yeah. So of course, from 12 months ago, of course we've moved. Yeah, we've got the stadium. We're watching people like Jack Grealish.
Got better owners.
But because we've been watching this for like so long, this same stuff for so long, the journey is just at a snail's pace. And it's that thing where it just doesn't seem to, because it's going so slowly, nothing seems to change for us ever. And from the outside looking in, if you're from the outside looking in, you'd go, nothing ever changes at your football club. Nothing. When you see Reds, we see Reds in our comments all the time. And it's just like, nothing ever changes ever with your football club. It just seems to be the same. If you're like they'll probably go, well, you brought in this player and that player, and you were like, giving it big uns last month, and look at you now. You were fucking all over the place when Jack Grealish gets played a month, 4 assists, blah blah blah. Hasn't got one since. And that is literally the story of our football club since I have been an adult. It just does that all the time because no one is willing to like grab the ball.
At least we didn't pay 130 million for a player that hasn't got a goal or an assist in 8 games.
Or give a centre-back £400,000 and his legs basically seems to have gone. We don't ever seem to have anyone who can grab the ball by the horns and go, right, we're going to do it this way. Yeah. And it's so frustrating because nothing can ever move quick enough for us because of what we've done.
That's it. It's not even it's like we're almost falsely judging like Moyes and the Friedkins at the moment because it can't happen quick enough. You want to see like progress so you can sort of go, we are moving forward because it doesn't feel like we are. We are. Clearly, like you just said, we are. But it just feels like you have those moments and it's like, why am I still going to match watching this and we're not winning? And I'm coming out feeling like the pit of your stomach of like, not won again. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just and then you do get the bigger thing.
And then I can understand you do get someone rung up the radio last night and he was like, we want Moyes gone. And they were like, what? And they were like, is this a thing? And the fella's going, yeah, it's a thing. We all want him gone.
No, it's nonsense.
And then loads of Evertonians and Tony Bellew rung up as well. And they were like, that's just not true. That's just not, that is literally not true.
Yeah.
That person's rung up and it's not true. We don't want him gone. No. But I can understand why people go, we need to just cut it now and go and get an Iriola or a Glasner or whoever. I get that because it feels like when you get a new manager, there's a freshness to it. And if it's now we're in a position to say...
Well, our window gets shut.
No, and I'm not advocating for that, but I understand that thing of going, but now we're in a position where we're not just going to go and get the next survival artist. We're going to get the next big one. We're going to go and get him. And it's going to be amazing because he is amazing. But the problem is like, we've seen that before at our football club. If our football club isn't set up for... Look at Marco Silva. Marco Silva is doing well at Fulham because he's got that time at a club with no expectations. But as soon as the expectations were put him on at Everton, he wilted. Now, maybe if the club was in a different position and Brands had been allowed the autonomy to go, no, you're not going anywhere, mate. Me and you are in charge. This lot don't. And I think you'd get that with these owners. But that's just not where we are right now. We need to get those foundations in place. But it is so massively frustrating.
You need to win games. Winning games cures everything. And that's it. Michael Kearney says, for a few seasons now, have a good first half. Don't put the game to bed. Then we're knackered late in the second half when the opposition subs come on. Blue Nose Netty says, Beto was dreadful. Totally agree. Michael Wood says, lads, were West Ham good last night?
No.
It showed what I didn't think they were good, no, not at all. But I did think Malik Chief was excellent and Somerville was excellent.
For 20 minutes, they were like, we can destroy these on the left.
Because we've lost all our shit. You see, me personally, right, and I don't say this very often, but I'd have taken Adrisha off last night.
Yeah.
Because he looked knackered. I would have. The last 20, I'd have took him off and gone, right, I'm putting Alcaraz on because he's going to drive forward with the ball and he's going to give them something to worry about. Do you think
Moyes sometimes, because he was doing that last season, but he done it against Wolves and it nearly cost us 3 points. And I wonder whether Moyes gets in his own head about things of like, I did that in another game and it nearly cost us.
Probably, yeah.
Whereas I think, you know, you go, listen, if Mail and Roll was available, maybe put him in. Right. But I think it is that thing of like, let's just get, we're on the back foot here.
That's why Ndiaye stays on. Because even though Ndiaye, I don't think he's been good for the last few weeks, to be honest. But last night he was particularly, you know, off it for him. But I think he just leaves him on because he thinks he's got a goal in him. So can't take him off because he pops up with a goal now and again. But really, you should look at every game individually and go, he's not doing it here. Try the dibbling on your goal, lad. Half an hour. Go and do your thing. You know what I mean? I'd have put Alcaraz on and gone for it. Might that have cost us? Maybe. Don't know. And that's what he would look at. And that's his job, isn't it? To go, well, I'd rather us take a point than none.
Yeah.
You know?
I was just seen someone just sent a pass map from James Garner last night. And I don't think there's like 2 passes that go centrally. Everything is left or right. And I think that's very telling of where we are as a football team, is that because we don't have that centre forward to get hold of the ball or run through the channels, everything has to go wide, which makes us predictable. Going back to the original pointers, how desperate we are for a centre forward who's not only willing to take... Because look at, I think the first thing that happened when Barry came was a ball was played down the channel to him and he forced the defenders to play it across, and I think that's when Dewsbury Hall won it on the other side because we played a ball into him, and Barry did give us that, whereas Beto just doesn't give us that. We had the other
one that comes at the halfway line and he just played it off first time, comfortable. First time, little ball and spun. And we were on the offensive because it was in one move. Yeah. The thing is, well, the only thing, and I thought James Garner was excellent last night. The only thing is, he's leaving him and Garner don't hold that position as a 6. So therefore, that's why there was some gaps in there. So he's got to be the natural 6 for us. So he's got to stay sensible. But then our 2 running 8s, which is what they're called, have got to be more involved as well, either side, so that Garner can be the sort of the pivot, is what they call it as well, don't they? Just sat there. Simon says, lads, our build-up play is so slow. It's like walking football. It allows the opposition to regroup and get set. It's frustrating. Correct. Jay says, spent all summer cry Arsenal about building a squad. Doesn't use it when he's got the best squad we've had in years.
But maybe it's cry Arsenal because he wanted them in early so he could get them up to speed quicker.
Greg says there needs to be a sense of reality here. We're not going to win every week.
No.
We'll look good some weeks, poor the next. That's where the squad's at the moment. And you know, sometimes that Moyes teams can blow hot and cold. It was the same first time round. Anyone wanting rid of the manager is in cuckoo land. Be careful what you wish for. We made huge improvement. Now you're right, Greg. It's just frustrating because it's 2 home games on the run that we've sort of wasted big opportunities, and you know that. Other games are coming up that are difficult, and now it might play out. We beat those teams, and you look around and go, I want to win that. You know, we win Sunday. Now, they're on a great run, but we done a double over them last season. If we win Sunday by hook or by crook, but we get the win, we'll all be bouncing on Monday, won't we? Because we'll have won that game. You know, and
there'll be no footy for 2 weeks.
And there'll be no footy, so it'll be incredible. So that's the way it is. It's just, yeah. Stephen Burton said, would we feel any difference had West Ham scored first?
Yeah, I mean,
probably.
There was a sense, like I went back and watched a little bit of it, like just to watch the dunk parts after the game on Sky. And there was a sense of like, wow, look at West Ham, they're on the up, and Everton. It was like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, they got a new manager, and yeah, they got a good little spell, but it was like, Bowen does it. Bowen does that. He does it because, like, he scored and he was right by their fans, and they're the first team to score it at the new ground. It was like, what are you talking about? It was a 1-1 draw. It wasn't a great game, and it was like, you know, Potter was terrible, and the narrative. There's such a narrative.
What are they going to say when Arsenal spanked them on Saturday?
But there was the point where, you know, there was such a narrative about. That's why that's why at times I hate being on the telly, because the narrative is like, you're the only game. It's like, that's why I dreaded the first game of the season, because if that had been played on the Saturday at 3:00, we would have been sound. But it been built up, the narrative. Monday night footy, Leeds, Everton, blah blah blah. It was like, fuck off. And that's what it was a bit like last night. It's like, West Ham have got a new manager. It's going to be amazing. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, fuck off.
Take
me a favour.
Arsenal spanked them on Saturday, and that'll be it. Harry Watts says, the likes of Glasner and Iriola have leapfrogged us now. We don't ever have the balls to grab them from overseas. Always too safe with appointments. Joe Cody says, I hope the new ground gimmick wears off on people soon. Feels like at the minute, people are more bothered about bevying and getting food. Doesn't feel the same anymore at the match. Yeah. Paul says, I also don't think we've got our press sorted yet this season. If Beto goes first, then Dewsbury all needs to go and Jai. At the moment, we have one go and then none of the others follow. Yeah, and then it's the structure's broke, isn't it? Charlie Freak says, West Ham are rubbish. We made them look good. Michalenko ball watching for their goal. Thought Garnett and Jai and Jake were poor. Beto was awful. Moyes needs to use his subs more and bring them on earlier. 10 minutes here and there's no good. Yeah, Charlie, correct. Jay says, if you're using a song like that, don't use Fatboy Slim, Camel Fat, Panic Room. At least make it...
Panic Room, I like that. I like that. I've had a lot of that.
Derek.
Yeah, you go local, don't you? You get Evertonians. You get a song by an Evertonian, you play that. Like, fuck off. It's nonsense, that.
Derek Cummins says, by the way, gents, how do your seats compare to the ones you had at Goodison? Well, I like my seat, but it's nowhere near as good as the one I had at Goodison. You?
I miss being in the mix of the Gladys Street.
Isn't it the same?
No, it's well.
Oh, higher. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
And I miss having the conversations with people around me, even though I am like, without sounding like an absolute bellend, obviously people will talk to me, and you know they know who I am. But I do know one of the lads, Tony, sits in front of me. I play footy with Tony for Blue Kipper.
Yeah.
And I think it's his dad next to him. So we have chats, and then there's other people. I see Josh we were in America with.
Yeah,
you know, so people will come up to me, and I'm obviously with me family as well, so you know, can't disc. But obviously before, you know, Goodison had people around me, and you know, you get to know the traits and stuff like that. So I'm much higher. And I think when I was in the Gladys Street, you do bear the responsibility of feeling part of the atmosphere. So the songs and stuff, and I like that. But I also understand them. I'm not of the age that I should be in there. That should be, for me, where people who want to start. And that's what frustrates me about that. Is like, it's quiet, and I just wonder why it is quiet. I can't tell people what to do. I just feel like there's a responsibility if you're in an area that you... It's like in the Gladys Street. If anyone ever walked into the Gladys Street and sat down and complained about it, you'd be like, that's on you. It's fucking on you. You're in the wrong place. And I feel like if someone says it's a standing area, then you should know straight away that it's a standing area, and you should be legged for wanting to sit down. But I also feel like it comes with responsibility if that's where the atmosphere goes. And I took that when we were in the Gladys Street, if people ever said, oh, it's quiet, then it's like, yeah, maybe it is quiet, and people took responsibility for that. And I feel like the Lower South has to take responsibility of getting the atmosphere going. And people might go, we're just there to watch the match. And it's like, yeah, but people are always crying about like atmosphere and this and that, and only a certain section of people have been willing to do anything about it. And that's the 1878. And now those same people are like, we want to help create an atmosphere, but we're skint. So someone needs to help us, and that is the football club. But also for the atmosphere in the ground, that Lower South has to start. You mentioned it before, GT4. I mean, I was in GT5. GT4 is where everything started going. There were lunatics in there. You've seen the stuff that went. People, last game of the season, the fucking bagpipe fella came down. It was some games. It was bedlam in there. It was bedlam, but I wouldn't have had it any other way. Whereas,
that created the...
And I can understand, I know certain people, Kane, are turned off. No, he is. People like Kane are turned off by the ground because they like that chaos. They like that bedlam. And I do miss that bedlam of being in the Lower Gladys Street. I really do. But I also have to acknowledge that maybe I've aged out of that. And that's where people... And I just don't know whether that is football anymore in this country. I just don't know.
Yeah, maybe it isn't. Tom O'Reilly, I don't know whether you were talking to me. I'm certainly not being snobby thinking we should wipe the floor with Villa and West Ham. What I'm saying is those two games, I don't think we should be wiping the floor with Villa because Villa are a good side. But on that day, they were there for the taking. They were awful. They were bereft of confidence. They come trying to grab a point. They had 11 men behind the ball. They had one shot in the game of any note. They were hanging on for dear life. And that was 2 points on that particular day, massively dropped because they were there. Another team would have beat them 3 or 4-0 that day. A team who took their opportunities, where the centre forward wasn't missing 3 sitters. And last night, they were a team, 19th in the league, spanked by most teams. Didn't play well last night apart from 15 minutes around the goal and after it. And we were winning and they were there for the taking. Based on the evidence, what I saw. I don't look at anything. Crystal Palace shouldn't even be allowed to be spoken in the same sentence as Everton Football Club. Really. Historically.
Yeah.
And yet I'm looking at them Sunday thinking I won't be surprised if they turn us over. So I've got no sort of preconceived ideas about where Everton. We shouldn't be getting beat by Palace. They're a good side with a really good manager. Can we beat them? 100% we can beat them. But it won't surprise me if they come and beat us at the moment because they've got attacking fast.
They're a good side.
Fast players. And they've got a good side.
But they've earned the right to be. They've earned the right, haven't they? Yeah. Very much like Bournemouth have earned the right. Very much like Brighton have earned the right. These clubs have earned the right because they're playing well. The badge now doesn't mean
the team. Good.
The badge now for clubs like Everton means nothing. You know, it means nothing. You hear people talk about, well, but we're Everton. Oh, fucking what? We're Everton.
That only works if people in the football club and running a football club have that same thing. The people who can really affect it. We're Everton. This does not happen.
Yeah.
Have we got people in that football club like that? I don't know. It's the reality. I don't know.
No, but that's the point, isn't it? We can do this thing all we want. We've been doing it for ages, this thing of we're Everton. And look.
Cheers, Paul.
look at our ground and all this and all that. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything if behind the scenes you don't get the structure right to provide the manager with the players to create something. And I get that. That's where people get frustrated with Moyes. And someone come up to me last night like it was my fault, and like was very, very angry with me after the game, like it was my fault.
What?
Just like, this is Moyes. I went, yeah, same Moyes you kept us up last season, mate. Just, you know, all those wins at the end of the season, mate. That was the same Moyes. But I get, it's like people can't wait to turn on him, and I do get it. But like, there has to be a fundamental desire to change Everton. And there are people at our football club that have been dragging their feet for years and years and years because they don't want that change, because that will leave those people behind. We've been saying it for years. We've been saying it on this channel for years. It will leave those people behind. They don't want to see, Everton get better, because when we get better, they will lose their job at our football club. It's as simple as that.
The bottom line is lift everyone's standards, and then what you've got a chance is lift everyone's standards and therefore challenge them to get to them standards. And if they don't, you find out quickly. I'm not saying you don't go in and go, right, you're all gone. What you say is, this is the new standard.
This is the new bar.
So you get to there, otherwise you don't come on the journey with us. That's all it is. It's not. It's up to people to get to that level. If Jack Grealish has gone in and raised that ability level in that squad, it's up to Tyler Dibbling, it's up to Njai, it's up to Dwight McNeil. Can I get to that level that he's at? Because that seems to be the level now. And if you can't, you're very quickly out the team in a way. And that's what maybe someone like Dwight McNeil's found now, that he can't. He can't. So you've got to you've now got to, everyone's got to do it. David Moyes raised the level when he come in, raised it by miles, so that we weren't getting battered by teams. We were going away to Forest, who was second that day, beating them. Newcastle going for the Champions League, beating them. Fulham on a great run, beating them. Winning at Palace when not many were doing it, we beat them. We raised it. And therefore now, it's got to be raised again. And Moyes has got to go again now. And he's got to look at himself, and his staff have got to look at each other and go, are we doing the right things to win games of football? That's all we can do. That's all we can do. And you know what? Someone like James Garner's really raised this game. He's been excellent this season. So that's what it's about, isn't it? That's what it's about. Like last couple on Prem. Phil Stevens says, my worst nightmare with the new ground has come true. I hate the people I'm sat by after sitting by the same people for 20 to 25 years. I feel stuck though, because my seat's too good to give up.
All right, but that's up to you, isn't it?
Can he?
No, I'm going to say that's up to you, isn't it, if you think the seat. But I do believe, and me and John were talking about it yesterday, and John thinks it should happen now. That if you don't like your seat, you should be able to get to move. If there'll be people in certain parts of the ground who are like, I want to sit where you sit and you want to sit where I sit. There should be a seat on the seat. If everything's digital, if everything can just be changed on a whim, then what? It's not like you have to issue new cards, because there aren't any only for us. So there will be people. And if that creates a better atmosphere, if that creates happier people going the match, then let's do it. I was saying this last year about like maybe not doling out season tickets left, right and centre, because the people will go and go, maybe I don't like this place where I'm sitting.
Emma says a dry robe's now acceptable at the match because we're right next to the water.
Dry robes are only acceptable in one instance, Emma, and that is if you jump in cold water and then get out. That's the only time. That is what it was created for. It's not acceptable in any other circumstance. No other circumstance. Or sport, maybe sport.
Swimmers, surely.
Swimming, yeah, but maybe like if you've done you've done a run and afterwards someone throws one round you or something, or some other kind of sport where it's cold and you're sweating and you need, that sweat's going to turn cold, throw a dry robe. Okay. It's not a coat.
Okay.
It's a towel with arms.
Okay. Paul Davies says, last night was the first time since the move that I've missed Goodison. Might have been because my dad was away and I've not got used to going the new ground on my own. I've got to say, I do like, when I'm in my seat, I do love the ground. I do. I just wish we won games there and it was louder. Cooper's Tours says, all right, boys, any problems inside the ground last night, like the queues? No, I didn't have any issue There was a bit of an issue getting in. A little bit of one with the queues. It shouldn't be as long. People don't seem to know how to use phones to get in the ground at times. But inside, it seemed fine. It seemed fine. I'm not happy about it. I get home 90 minutes after the game's finished.
I believe Sandhills was terrible last night. Last night felt like absolute chaos because it was a night game.
Yeah.
Like I saw, so Sandhills apparently was chaos, and apparently some people were saying people were lucky not to get hurt. Yeah. I saw on Great Howard Street a car. A person who was driving the car, all on them. The way it's down to one lane on either side because they've created like a bus lane. So the car, so lads were walking in the bus lane and the car sort of was like moving and basically ran over somebody and then hit a cone, and then they've chased after him. It was almost like Bushwanker's scene, and he's managed to go up one of the side streets so these lads didn't catch him. Then where we park on Love Lane, there's a road that takes you up, and it's literally once you get up this lane to get to the next, up to like Vauxhall Road, cars from like 3 different directions were all trying to get up this one lane, and it just caused chaos. And there's what I've noticed about our ground, completely different to Goodison, is you don't see police anyway. Like there's no police anywhere. So after the game it's just pure chaos. There's nobody about. There's no police anywhere. Like making sure the cars getting out. Last night was like wacky races. And this is why I said we should just stay in the ground for 15 more minutes. It
blows my mind that when I come out, and we didn't go, like I wanted to get the minute the whistle went. I must admit, I wanted to be away from the place. I was fuming. Yeah. But you come out and you can't get out the walls. You have to stand around. So we stood around for 15 minutes while people got out the walls.
Yeah.
And then we walked down on the way to the ground, crossed the bridge. You know the bridge.
Yeah, we cut up.
There was big floodlights lighting the bridge. It was great. Yeah.
But at night it was dark.
Yeah, when we were going back.
You can't see feet.
No, when we were going back, they turned them off.
Yeah, they turned the lights off up the road that you go left at there to go past the Titanic. The first 2 street lights were out.
Just out.
Pitch black. Yeah. Pitch black. That bridge, you can't see your feet when you cross it.
And
so you're doing like a moonwalk.
Everyone's you like that. And they had the big floodlights that were there on at 7
o'clock when it was light.
And I was like, oh, that's really good. You'll be able to see when we come back. And there was like 6 busies just stood around chatting, laughing.
Yeah.
Like, why is it pitch black?
Yeah. It is.
They just do that thing where they just look away.
Yeah. The council and the police and Merseyrail.
I guarantee you, mate, if we played in red, it'd be totally
different. Of course it would be totally different. Of course it would. Of course it would. It was like chaos last night. Yeah, it was absolute chaos because it is a night game.
But it will start being now. The next Palace will be all right Sunday, but by the time we play Spurs, the clock's gone back, and then it'll be pitch black. It's 4:30. It's going to be that. This is it now for the next 7-8 months.
Yeah, they need to get a grip of that. Like
so, I mean, it's not 7-8 months, but the next 6 months, isn't it? It's going to be dark sort of thing. So they do need to get it. But inside the queues, and that was fine. It was fine. Right, we're done.
Stephen, I can't do that moon walking again. Sorry, because I don't even know what I just did.
No, he just does it. It's just off the cuff. It's off the cuff.
If you want more space-based chat, check out the 1878 FM podcast. There's a lot of good chat on there about game shows, and one of them is a space-based game show, which we'd like to bring in. We feel like it's now is the time to take some celebrities to space.
Emma says the Bootle bus is sound, to be fair. I was home by 10:30. Fair play,
I thought you weren't going, Emma. I thought you said you were sick.
She sent I seen a video of her.
No, but yesterday she said she was sick.
Well, she was.
She wasn't going.
She was there. She sent a video of all the
sick of going the match. Hey.
James got,
in other news, James got bladdered.
He's feeling changed.
James got bladdered at the match last night. In fact, he messaged about 7 o'clock saying, I am bladdered. And I thought we are going to see absolute disco scenes here. I thought we were going to see like Mike Bassett on the bar, no top on, giving it the biggin with his mate. I thought that's what's going to happen after the game in town. He's free bar, and he fucking took advantage of that free bar.
You know what, though? Your ticket say you're allowed to go on a 5, didn't listen until our 5. It's poor.
It is poor. It's another poor thing. But he knew you were coming.
It was great, though.
He knew you were coming. He knew you were going to take them out of house and home.
Yeah.
The golfer says crowd control last night was non-existent. My first game last night, and I was with my disabled daughter. no infrastructure whatsoever, and I won't be using the train again. Put it that way. That's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, that's absolutely awful.
Terrible.
It leaves a terrible impression. Also, could the stewards outside the turnstiles, when people are struggling to get in, could you maybe go over and say, what's the problem here? Rather than just stand. They told me off a couple of weeks ago for having a camera in my hand going off and was like, can't take that in. I was like, fuck off. And last night there was people who were like, clearly their first game. And they couldn't get in. Maybe they weren't at the wrong. Maybe they were at the wrong turnstile, and the stewards were just standing round watching them. Also, last night there was oh no, you don't have to show us your tickets as you go in.
The
thing. And then the metal detectors was like beep 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 beep, and no one got checked. It was like that meme, like that meme of the fella doing the old thing, And also, this has nothing to do with Everton, right? But we've seen these lights above the ground, and my missus was like, is that a drone? So I pulled out my plane app, as you do. I was like, no, it's a plane. And honestly, this plane come from Blackpool, and it went past the ground, and then it went round. But it was getting lower, and I started shitting myself because it was going lower. I was like,
just wanted to see in the ground.
Yeah, I was like, what are you? But it went round, and I was like, this plane's getting lower and lower and lower and lower. What's going on? And then it went back round again, and then it off. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Did you see the sky drone? I was just loving it, the whole thing.
He put it on the screen at one point, look, boss.
Yeah, luckily. Yeah. Chris Roberts said, tried to stop me bringing cans in for the donation, food bank donations. What the honestly, please, come on, please, we can do better than this. Mark 1878 says, the exit through the wall is poor, no lighting, very crowded. I do feel like they need to blast a new exit there.
I don't think they're allowed to blast it, are they?
It's ridiculous. Because at Goodison, you could disperse in 4 different
To be fair,
directions.
when I leave the ground, it's all pretty empty because obviously I do my aftermatch, and then I try and get. I didn't last night because they wanted to go, whereas I would have stuck around for 15 more minutes and used the Wi-Fi. But by the time I leave,
could you get on the Wi-Fi? Yeah.
Yeah. No issues getting on the Wi-Fi.
Miracle if I get on that.
No, I have no issues getting on the Wi-Fi. Yeah. But the wall is always. I honestly do believe the best policy is just to stick around for 10 minutes.
Stuck around longer.
Even if you don't really feel like it, I think it's always worth just sticking around for 15 to 20 minutes.
I've probably got a cup of tea, so nothing's open.
There's nothing open downstairs.
No, of course, it's not. They all want to get off.
That's what I find that weird as well.
They all want to get off.
James Graham, the Everton crest was lit up.
It was lit up.
And it looked great.
And it did. Right, enough.
Therapy though, innit? I was doing a live show at 12:30 last night. It was like, people like, this is therapy. It's like, I feel like this is therapy. What about the therapy for us? What about the therapy for us? Who therapises us? Is that a word?
With this now. R4 Premier, if you find a word.
Find a word.
Later. Bye. Goodbye.